Chapter 1, Shift 2251. The cleaning van arrived at the gate of the dealership. The cold wind howled. Peter battled the lock of the gate. Peter climbed out of the van, was almost knocked off his feet by an Arctic blast, got around to the gate, dropped his keys in the snow, froze his hands getting them out, got the lock open, then opened the gate. Then he hopped back into the meager warmth of the work van. They drove through the snow-covered parking lot until they reached the garage door. You couldn't stop shivering. Isn't there some kind of Navy SEALs trick to warming yourself up in this unspeakable cold? They took out ammonia, Clorox, mop sticks and mop heads, a bunch of rags and vacuums. Despite their disheveled appearance, the two possessed a vaguely dignified air, perhaps distant beyond reckoning descendants of some low level of some ancient royal bloodline, not King Arthur's court, but a distant relative of Camelot, the Moors, no doubt. One would not have been wrong in picturing them in a knight's medieval armor. Instead, they wore stain-covered blue jumpsuits, and perhaps they should have been considering their job. They took a mop-swinging job to keep the bill collector at bay until they could get out to Hollywood. You drove the van into the parking lot. Peter closed the gate behind them. Then he ran back up to the van and jumped in the passenger seat. You did not enjoy your time in the boss's office. You dusted the disquieting stone carving of the demon bat that was displayed proudly on his conference table, among pictures of the Red Wings smoking cigars after winning the Stanley Cup many years ago, and a beautiful image of the Tigers hitting the homer that won the World Series. You used to think the bizarre statue was like an intimidation technique. It couldn't be easy to negotiate with the owner of the top used car dealership in the Tri-County area, especially if he had a statue of Kamazatz, the Mayan god of sudden human race destroying, drinking of bloodlust, sitting on his desk. And maybe that was true, because the boss man never came out on the wrong side of a negotiation. He kept scooping up more new used car lots, extending the Mop Swingers shifts further into eternity, yet somehow never increasing their pay. Peter thought of a way to shave some more time off the shift, although he doubted it would have any real effect in the vortex of zero progress they were stuck in. I saw a movie last night that got my head all fucked up. Did you ever see that Jim Carrey vehicle, Me, Myself, and Irene? I suppose it was supposed to be a comedy, but I couldn't stop crying the entire time I was watching it. And not like tears from laughing. This was waves of fear and sadness. I don't think there has been a more tragic figure in film history. Tell old JC to even make it through that scene near the beginning where he finally finds out how much of a whore his wife is. But he still takes care of the kids and loves them like they are his own. Cultural divide be damned. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know comedy is only tragedy pushed past the brink of human comprehension, but goddamn. Peter suggested that instead of both of them wasting time mopping and vacuuming, one should focus and master the craft of the vacuum, and the other should do the same for the mop. By that mop swinger logic, they could be done in half the time. You were going through the struggle of trying to stretch an improperly sized garbage bag over the lid of the rolling garbage can. An improperly sized garbage bag over the lid of the rolling big garbage can. A truly pathetic manifestation of human inadequacy. A truly pathetic manifestation of human inadequacy if there ever was one. And then you heard that illusion known as the sky open up, followed by the sorrowful cry of countless devoured souls. That could only mean it was the 7th Tuesday of the year, the fattest of the fat Tuesdays. Kamazats was permitted release from Xibalba, the lowly Mayan side of the underworld, which, to put a finer point on it, is like the Toledo of the underworld. Not even King Bat wanted to hang in there for very long. The ugly statue in the boss's office cracked open. Rays of blood-red light beamed out. The death bat emerged to rain bloody terror once again. But the Mop Swingers figured out how to deal with Kamazats without losing entire generations, and without even making much of a mess. Like all of God's other creatures, the monster liked to simply be paid attention to. All the senseless mayhem was their way of acting out. The gods, especially demon gods, just wanted to be listened to. And the way to listen to gods was by way of human sacrifice, which the Mop Swingers found through some perhaps morally questionable processes of trial and error, that what Kamazats liked to chomp on more than human parts was Whoppers from Burger King. They had several bags of takeout ready to go. Demons and gods really appreciate a gesture. Kamazats felt special to be served by the king of all burgers. A scandal many years later would reveal that Whoppers were made out of human parts anyway. You, Peter, and Kamazat's the deathbed of doom sat at the ridiculous little picnic table in the parking lot of the dealership. No one seemed to notice Kamazat's. Besides the giant fangs and wings, he did not look that much different from the run-of-the-mill Detroiter. You took the soggy pickles and tomatoes off his burger and offered them to Kamazat's, and the beast kindly accepted. So what is the movie situation down there in Xibalba? Do you get the releases early like New York and LA, or do you sometimes not get them at all like the godforsaken Kamazat's was about to offer a very polite and informative answer? Then Peter interrupted the gods, as he so often did. And what sort of DVD do they have down there? I'm planning on going, so I should have to know just in case. I like to be prepared. Such an offense made Kamazat's blow a gasket. The beast was about to devour Peter whole. Then the Whopper did its usual work, caused a terrible stomachache, and Kamazat's had to return to his statue until he felt less queasy. You did not have to deal with him again for a very long time. The end.